posts on social media that later turned out to be the work of generative AI that seemed to suggest that Amit Shah had pledged to do away with reservations. The BJP realized that fake news, as you know viewers, bad news, fake news travels faster, that fake news had actually begun to hurt its electoral prospects. And it did cost them, viewers. As you know, the BJP ended up with fewer seats than it had bargained for. So it was quite clear that Amit Shah was in no mood to let this mischief, as he called it, in any way fester. The Union Minister Amit Shah therefore hit back at the Congress amid the massive row over his comments on Dr. B.R. Ambedkar during the introduction of the One Nation, One Election bill in Parliament. Mr. Shah accused the Congress of twisting his remarks and mocked the Congress, saying his resignation will not help the grand old party, adding they will stay where they are right now for at least 15 more years if they proceeded to amplify demands for his resignation. Shah's remark that invoking the name of Ambedkar has become a fashion, not my words, his quote-unquote fashion, these days has sparked a massive row, with the opposition launching a concerted attack amidst the winter session of Parliament. But here is the fact. The Congress, as I told you, clipped just about 12 to 13 seconds, viewers, from this entire speech where Amit Shah had come out and said, and let me quote him, "Now it has become fashionable to chant the name of Ambedkar, Ambedkar, Ambedkar. If you had taken God's name this much, you would have attained heaven. Amit Shah, this result to Baba Saheb can only be done by a person who hates his constitution and whose forefathers had burnt the effigies of Baba Saheb, the Messiah of the oppressed and the deprived. After all, why do these Sanghis have so much trouble and hatred even with the name of Baba Saheb?" This is what the Congress said, viewers, about the speech of Mr. Amit Shah, paraphrasing, as I told you, taking an excerpt of just the first 3 or 4 lines. But this is exactly, viewers, what Amit Shah wanted to correct, because if you hear the longer version, which is about 2.5 minutes of that 90-minute excerpt, viewers, the 2.5-minute excerpt of the 90-minute speech, it talks about how the Congress that constantly evokes the name of Dr. Ambedkar doesn't actually respect either his views or the spirit of the Constitution that he was the architect of. So had the Congress party not spliced, diced that entire 2.5-minute chunk into 12 seconds, we may not have had this situation today. Nonetheless, this is how it played out, viewers. I'm going to show you now the original clip and the spliced clip. Listen in.
मान्यवर, अभी एक फैशन हो गया है, आम्बेडकर 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 आम्बेडकर। इतना नाम अगर भगवान का लेते तो 7 जन्मों तक स्वर्ग मिल जाता। मान्यवर, अभी एक फैशन हो गया है, आम्बेडकर 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 आम्बेडकर। इतना नाम अगर भगवान का लेते तो 7 जन्मों तक स्वर्ग मिल जाता। तो अच्छी बात है, हमें तो आनंद है कि आम्बेडकर का नाम लेते हैं। आम्बेडकर का नाम अभी 100 बार ज्यादा लो, परंतु साथ अर्थ में आम्बेडकर जी के प्रति आपका भाव क्या है ये मैं बताता हूं। मान्यवर, आम्बेडकर जी को देश की पहली कैबिनेट से इस्तीफा क्यों दे दिया? आम्बेडकर जी ने कई बार कहा कि अनुसूचित जातियों और जनजातियों से हुए व्यवहार से मैं असंतुष्ट हूं, सरकार की विदेश नीति से मैं असहमत हूं और आर्टिकल 370 से मैं असहमत हूं। इसलिए वो छोड़ना चाहते थे, उनको आश्वासन दिया गया, आश्वासन पूरा नहीं हुआ, उन्होंने इग्नोरेंस के चलते इस्तीफा दे दिया। और एक श्री BC रॉय ने पत्र लिखा कि अंबेडकर और राजा जी जैसे दो महानुभाव मंत्रिमंडल छोड़ेंगे तो क्या होगा, तो नेहरू जी ने उनको जवाब में लिखा है, राजा जी के जाने से तो थोड़ा बहुत नुकसान होगा, अंबेडकर के जाने से मंत्रिमंडल कमजोर नहीं होता है। मान्यवर ये विचार जो खड़गे जी कह रहे हैं ना, क्या आपत्ति है, जिसका विरोध करते हो उसका वोट के लिए नाम देना कितना उचित है, क्योंकि अब अंबेडकर जी को मानने वाले पर्याप्त संख्या में आ गए हैं, इसलिए आप अंबेडकर अंबेडकर कर रहे हो।
Now it's very clear, viewers, that when the Congress spliced that particular speech by Mr. Shah, they did so to suggest that Amit Shah was actually criticizing the Congress for taking Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's name, for putting him on a pedestal. The truth is that Amit Shah, as you could see in the longer clip, viewers, in the real clip, in what actually Amit Shah said, Amit Shah was actually criticizing the Congress for not honoring Dr. Ambedkar's legacy and his work. By ignoring the context of the full speech, viewers, you can imagine what narrative was being spun by the Congress party. The Prime Minister himself intervened on the side of his cabinet colleague to set the record straight by listing what he called were Congress party's, quote, sins, unquote, against Dr. Ambedkar. And let me quote what the Prime Minister said. If the Congress and its rotten ecosystem think their malicious lies can hide their misdeeds of several years, especially the insult towards Dr. Ambedkar, they are gravely mistaken. The people of India have seen time and again how one party led by one dynasty has indulged in every possible dirty trick to obliterate the legacy of Dr. Ambedkar and humiliate the SC/ST communities, unquote. In fact, the Prime Minister then went on to list how Congress sidelined Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now, these are points that he's put out, viewers. We independently verified them also, and they did stand up to scrutiny. So it's not as if the Prime Minister is making up facts. Nonetheless, the Congress has a different view. And let me now take you through what the Prime Minister put out. He said in 1952, Dr. Ambedkar lost to his former personal assistant and Congress candidate Narayan Sadoba Kajrolkar in Bombay North as it was called. Such was the force of the Nehru wave that Kajrolkar won by 15,000 votes and Ambedkar came fourth, suggesting the election witnessed heightened political tensions as Nehru himself visited Mumbai twice to campaign against Dr. Ambedkar, while Dange, who was a communist leader, distributed pamphlets defaming the Dalit leader. Congress had awarded Padma Bhushan to Narayan Sadoba Kajrolkar in 1970, the person who defeated Dr. Ambedkar in the first parliamentary elections, but never gave the Bharat Ratna to Dr. Ambedkar. In fact, it was the Chandrasekhar government in 1990 that handed out this particular honor. In 1954, the Prime Minister says, by-elections in Bhandara, he was defeated by the Congress nominee Bhaurao Borkar. The erstwhile Jansangh, now BJP, had extended its support to Dr. Ambedkar in the elections where he was defeated by the Congress. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was posthumously conferred Bharat Ratna on March 31, 1990 during the VP Singh government. I stand corrected, viewers, and that government was supported by the BJP. Dr. Ambedkar's portrait was unveiled in Central Hall of Parliament on April 12, 1990 by then Prime Minister VP Singh. Before that, his portrait was not in Central Hall of Parliament. While the Prime Minister put out his list, here is independent evidence suggesting that Dr. Ambedkar was disenchanted with the Congress in 1951, which prompted him to criticize it bitterly. As per Democracy's Biggest Gamble, India's first free election in 1952 by Ramchandra Guha, who's a historian and not really a supporter of either the Prime Minister or the BJP or the NDA or the RSS, etc. He has documented that Ambedkar criticized the Congress for neglecting lower castes, described Congress as a dharamsala or a rest home, lacking unity of purpose or principles, open to all, including fools, knaves, friends, foes, communalists, secularists, reformers, orthodox, capitalists and anti-capitalists, in a sense suggesting it had no real ideological moorings. And for those who want independent facts, viewers, on the reasons why Ambedkar resigned from the Congress, here they are. These have been put out by the Vice Chancellor of the JNU in the past, and here are some of them. Ambedkar was not given a key ministry that he was seeking, the planning department as promised, and was not a part of the ministerial panel either. So very, very important, viewers. The government was indifferent to the question of Dalits or their status, and he went on to say his opposition to Nehru's handling of the Kashmir issue was a very big reason why Dr. Ambedkar decided to quit. Nehru's faulty foreign policy, as he predicted India would end up with more enemies than friends, was another reason. And Nehru did not live up to his word on the Hindu Code Bill. Baba Saheb felt let down, for Nehru didn't show the enthusiasm and the determination to get it passed. Viewers, however, the weight of fact hasn't stopped the opposition from tearing into the BJP. Several of the leaders have come out and attacked the BJP's and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Listening.
जो बाबा साहब का अपमान शाह ने किया है वो गलत है, इसीलिए आई डिमांड हिज रेसिग्नेशन। जो अपमान संविधान का करता है,
बीजेपी ने और इनकी जो मूल मातृ संस्था है आरएसएस ने संविधान का हमेशा से विरोध किया है। तो आरएसएस दलितों से, पिछड़ों से नफरत करती है। मोदी जी बाबा साहब डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर जी से, दलितों से नफरत करते हैं। अमित शाह के मन में दलितों और बाबा साहब के प्रति घृणा भरी हुई है। वो घृणा कल निकल के सामने आ गई।
Let's open this up, viewers. Let's ask some fundamental questions tonight, and I want to begin with the AAP national spokesperson and the BJP member of Parliament, Aparitija Sarangi. Now, Priyanka Kakkar, let me begin with you first. Priyanka Kakkar, why is the Aam Aadmi Party, that prides itself as being a principled opposition party, today amplifying what is quite clearly a spliced and diced comment by Amit Shah to serve an agenda, not the interest of truth, but an agenda to cover up for perhaps the omissions that it has made, the Congress has made, in its own disregard for Dr. Ambedkar's vision, view, and of course principles as enshrined in the constitution that he had drafted. Ms. Kakkar.
Rahul ji, good evening to you, your viewers and the fellow co-panelists. I think you are also slicing something, taking it out of context and not looking at the larger picture. In the larger picture, you will recall, since you mentioned PM Modi's tweet of mentioning 1952, 1949 on 12th of December, the RSS burnt the effigy of Ambedkar Saheb. We know that. Then secondly, you are not taking into account the fact that Mohan Bhagwat ji in 2015 very categorically said he is against reservation. Then again, you are overlooking the fact that BJP snatched, for instance, Delhi's powers, which the constitution provided us. They snatched the services and we won again after 8 years of fight, and then again BJP went back to the parliament and overturned it. Then again, you are not looking at the larger narrative where when the Ram temple was built, Ramnath Kovind ji was not permitted entry while the Ram Mandir was inaugurated. Then again, you're not looking at the fact that when the new parliament inauguration happened, Draupadi Murmu ji was not invited. Then again, you're not looking at the fact that when a home minister, he gives such an objectionable comment in his speech, which should be condemned, for which he should actually apologize. How does that trickle down? Karyakartas of BJP in the, for say example, Madhya Pradesh, they urinate on Dalits and Pichhada people. So, you have to also look at a holistic picture कि भाजपा राज्यों में बार बार दलितों, पिछड़ों वंचितों के ऊपर किस तरह के शोषण लगातार हुए हैं भाजपा शासन में।
Can you you said that they are opposed to reservations, etc. I think you misunderstood my question. I was talking about the amplification of the Congress's splicing, dicing a soundbite. But since you have chosen to, no, one second, ma'am, one second. Since you have chosen to focus on something else, let me quickly ask you two quick questions because I'm a bit confused. You said the BJP opposes reservations, the RSS opposes reservations. Do you know whose government there was in 1990?
Of course.
Yeah.
VP Singh ji's.
VP Singh. Who supported the VP Singh government? One second, ma'am. One second. Who supported
no, let me.
It was the BJP. And who brought in, therefore, the Mandal Award? Who brought in the quota system?
No. BJP was against Mandal Commission. Please have your history right.
No, madam.
BJP was against Mandal Commission. What are you saying? You are trying to question me and corner me, but that is not correct. Rahul ji, you are mistaken. Your facts are wrong.
One second. No, nothing. Nothing like that. There were elements, like in every other party, that had a problem with some of the Mandal awards. I recognize that, but when it came to it, viewers, that particular bill was passed. It was considered and passed, and that could not have happened without the support of a functional
Despite
government.
objections from BJP.
Ma'am, all these things are possible only when... Has any of the reservations been scrapped? The BJP is in power now for 11 years. Any of them been scrapped?
EWS.
There is a constant attack on reservations.
No, where? Which? You tell me one quota which has been slashed. Okay, second point. Who made Dalits?
Okay, let me give you a very simple answer.
Who made
very
the Dalit?
Simple answer
One
for that
second,
because you
ma'am.
debate
Let me
so
just
much
finish my
only
question. Let me finish my question. Who made the Dalit and tribal the president in this country, and who opposed their candidatures? Who made Mr. Kovind?
Okay with tokenism, we aren't.
Tokenism. Making
you might
viewers
be okay
listen
with
to this.
Tokenism, we aren't.
Okay, so you are saying making a
Why could Ramnath Kovind then be called for
making a Dalit,
Let me first,
making
you
Dalit
have
the
gone
president.
too far. Let me.
Okay, I have not gone far. I am only asking you to clarify this because you said that they have a problem with Dalit President Mr. Kovind. They didn't invite him. I am not here to stand for the BJP. I'll bring Ms. Sarangi into this.
Reservation.
Yeah, one second. Viewers, if there has been anyone on record, Rajiv Gandhi on record to say we don't want reservations, don't want to divide this country on the back of reservations, it's regressive. If there is anyone on record, it's Indira Gandhi. If it's anyone who ignored the Mandal Commission report for 20 years, viewers, it was a Congress party. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me bring in Ms. Sarangi to respond to you on the charges about the BJP not doing enough to give Dalits and tribals their pride of place, including not inviting them to the temples or being against, most importantly, the Mandal Commission Award. Ms. Sarangi, please respond to Ms. Kakkar.
A very good evening. I can only say that whatever Congress did today was an act of desperation. Congress does not know what to do now. Congress expresses its negativism through these acts. It is not that for the first time they have distorted the speech of Honorable Home Minister. As you said, I reiterate, a couple of months back, just before the election, in fact, they had used the artificial intelligence and they had distorted his speech. So I think they are up to these dirty tricks because they know that they have to do these things if they have to remain relevant in the system. Whatever they are doing, in fact, it is not having any kind of positive impact on 140 crore Indians. On 13th and 14th and 16th and 17th of December, the government, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha decided to have debates on the constitution. And I was also one of the speakers, and we had very good debates and everybody expressed their viewpoints. In fact, in one of the speeches, somebody said, they were anti-Veer Savarkar too. And then thereafter, one after the other, things came out, tumbled out of the basket, and in fact, people like us were aghast. They are anti-constitution, let me tell you candidly. They are anti-B.R. Ambedkar ji, let me tell you candidly, and they are anti-reservation, let me tell you candidly. In 1955, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru gave to himself the Bharat Ratna. In 1971, The then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi gave herself the Bharat Ratna. Why did B.R. Ambedkar ji had to wait for 34 years after his death in 1956 to get the Bharat Ratna in 1990, and that too not by the Congress government, by another government supported by the BJP. So I think we have to look at all these things and then we have to deduce whether they are anti-Ambedkar or not. In the Central Hall of Parliament, where all the parliamentarians sit and we derive inspiration from all the pictures that are put on the wall, let me tell you that for a long time B.R. Ambedkar ji was not there. So I think yesterday Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji delivered a speech for 90 minutes, wonderful speech, and in fact he kind of unveiled the face of the Congress before the people of the country.
Yes.
We got to know many dimensions of this particular party, and at that point of time these people felt helpless, these people got annoyed, these people got desperate, they have no relevance in the system. So that is why they came up with this kind of distortion of the speech of nobody, none less than Honorable Home Minister, because they thought if they do this, I think it would catch fire in the country.
Okay.
So that is it, but I think I must thank you. You have put forth everything very clearly.
One second, I need to ask you, Ms.
Sarangi,
Sarangi, the charge was that you did not invite Mr. Kovind or the present president to the inauguration, for example, of the Ram Mandir, which is a great slight. Of course, we have forgotten that the Ram Mandir consecration ceremony itself, viewers, was very holistic because a large number of people from different denominations were invited. But please respond to that.
I can only say with all conviction at my command that we are with all kinds of communities, including all marginalized communities. And let me tell you that ex-President Shri Kovind ji was the chairman of the drafting committee report on this One Nation, One Election. We have full faith in his ability, and that is why the government decided to have him in the chair. What more can I say? And then Madam Draupadi Murmu is a tribal lady from Mayurbhanj district of Orissa, to which I belong.
Okay.
And from there, she came to Rashtrapati Bhavan to the Raisina Hill. So I don't think we need to prove anything as far as
so
our
let me ask, since we are talking
concerned
about
for the marginalized
symbolism
communities
and being rich in symbolism and tokenism, let me bring in Kamru Chaudhary and also Ms. Kakkar. Ms. Kakkar, if you are just talking about optics, all political parties like to hype optics. Why is it that Dr. Ambedkar's portrait was never there in the Central Hall of Parliament till 1990?
I do know that since the Aam Aadmi Party came into picture, we have it everywhere. And
no, so I'm only asking you, ma'am. I mean, do you think the Congress therefore did any service to the legacy, even if it came to a symbolic gesture? Do you think symbolically, no Bharat Ratna for him, no portrait of his, do you think that shows respect? I mean, because
Rahul, I think,
yeah, please go ahead.
Rahul ji, what do you think? Okay, I'll ask you a question also. Do you think it shows respect when the sitting PM Narendra Modi ji builds the largest stadium and gives it, puts it under his own name? Do you think it?
He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it, ma'am. Please, let's not mutate facts. He didn't do it. He didn't make his own name there. It's a BCCI. No, one second, madam. I mean, look, let's not go there because I don't want to go down these. No, one second. No, one second. The Chief Minister of Delhi, Mr. Kejriwal, had once said that he will never live in a big home. There are all those records and reports. But he went back on all his promises.
Matter. He proved it by conduct. He left the house.
So fine.
He left the house. Proved it by conduct.
Well, I don't know about that. But the point is that he was very happy to have a beautiful mansion built for himself during COVID. During COVID, he was there. While Delhi was struggling to get its resources, there was, according to the reports that we have seen, the reports that we have seen, we had the papers. I was in a previous channel. We had all the papers. Okay, ma'am, I don't want to get into a word war. You brought out, certain inconsistencies. I'm only reminding you of inconsistencies.
Let the BJP spokesperson answer.
Let me bring Mr. Chaudhary into this. And senior journalist, Mr. One second, Mr. Let me bring them all in. Because you see, let's not make allegations that can't be substantiated by fact. And if one is making allegations unsubstantiated, then one has to be ready to receive a question which might also point out a certain dissonance. So, Kamru Chaudhary.
Unsubstantiated allegations.
Okay.
Rahul,
Okay, ma'am, I respect what you're saying. Yes, one second. Mr. Chaudhary, simply this. I want to ask you this question. Let's just forget about anything else and let's focus on tokenism. Mandal Commission report not brought in even when it was tabled. Before that, 2 other commissions to look into reservations ignored by Indira Gandhi. After that, you had a situation, sir, with due respect, where Indira Gandhi came out and made a statement, na jaat par, na path par. We should not do politics. She went on, and then her son, Rajiv Gandhi, in parliament got up and said, no, reservations are not good. They will skew our society. These were things that Dr. Ambedkar had quit the Nehru cabinet over. 60 years later, the Congress was still not willing to uphold his ideological legacy. Forget about anything. Then you don't give him a Bharat Ratna. You don't ensure that his portrait, the framer of the Indian Constitution, the person who was the head of the drafting committee, is not put in the central hall. What is one supposed to make from all of this, Mr. Chaudhary? Respect for his legacy?
Rahul, 30 minutes after into your debate, I hope this is a chart sheet which you expect to listen carefully.
Yes, sir.
Let me begin from the start. हिंदी में एक कहावत है, दिल में जो है वो कभी ना कभी जुबान पे आ ही जाता है, और अमित शाह के दिल में जो था वो जुबान पे आ चुका है. जितना भी attempt you are making to defend Amit Shah out here has been caught by the countrymen out here. You are telling that you are showing a cut clip, but ये क्या गलत नहीं है कि कोई बोल दे कि एक फैशन हो गया अंबेडकर 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 बोलना. मैं बोलता हूं एक ही नारा एक ही नाम अंबेडकर अंबेडकर अंबेडकर. क्या गलत है इस नाम में, इस नारे में? आई डोंट थिंक सो. You want to appropriate Ambedkar, you want to appropriate other freedom fighters because you do not have anybody in your cabal to boast of. Ambedkar left the Union Cabinet of Jawaharlal Nehru not because of Article 370. That's where the Home Minister is lying on the floor of the House. He has left the cabinet because of the Hindu Code Bill. He was not defeated by Jawaharlal Nehru's party alone because he fought the election in 1952 because he formed a different party by the name of Scheduled Castes Convention, wherein even Mr. Dange, a communist, as well as your ideologue Savarkar, opposed and tried and succeeded in defeating Ambedkar out here. It's all recorded out here. Now you go about talk and symbolism. What is symbolism does that mean? Does it have any significance in the country? You say that Narendra Modi did not name his own stadium. I say Nehru did not know that the award was going to be given to him till the time it was announced. He was nowhere in the picture to decide who gets the award.
Okay.
But you have set a narrative.
So hang on.
You will have
so
a
you are
narrative.
recognizing that Amit Shah said what he said, but you are not looking at the context. He says that it's not enough to keep chanting his name. You must do justice to his legacy. It's not a fashion. It's become a fashion just to chant his name without giving his legacy the due respect which he goes on to enumerate. Now, these are his claims. The fact that he had to quit Mr. Nehru's cabinet, and this is not something, viewers, that he's cooked up. Ramchandra Guha, who's written a book, in his own book, he has documented the disaffection. And Ramchandra Guha, viewers, you know, is not somebody who's a Modi fan. In fact, if anything, he has no respect for Mr. Modi. He keeps tweeting against him. He has a problem with his politics. He has a problem with the BJP and the ideology of the Sangh. Why would that man be standing up and saying this? He's only committed to... Hang on, 1 second, Mr. Chaudhary, 1 second. He's only committed to the facts. Ambedkar appreciated Mr. Savarkar. Viewers, Savarkar always comes up in the conversation. Rahul Gandhi says Savarkar was a coward. Then a letter is put all over the place, which very clearly shows that Indira Gandhi had actually written to say he was a brave son of India. Immediately, viewers, there are 5 facts that contradict what the Congress says. So I want to bring in Shekhar Iyer. What exactly is happening here, Shekhar Iyer? Is it that the Congress, and unfortunately the India Alliance partners have bought into this willy-nilly, not realizing that it was the Congress that actually had a problem? You look at the Sachar Commission report. The same Sachar who was appointed by the government of the day, UPA, he said that Dalit Muslims, etc. have been overlooked. Forget about anything else. Kamru Chaudhary, people of your own community. You know what he said, and said give them reservations. Why, sir, if the Congress was so respectful of Dalits, did it not give Dalit Muslims reservations back in the day? None of these questions are being answered. These are people who you appointed to do an investigation. So, Mr. Shekhar Iyer, what exactly is going on? One second. What exactly is going on here?
Well, Rahul, if indeed Amit Shah had made such an outrageous remark, why did not the opposition stand up immediately and protest there and then? Because we didn't see any objection to Amit Shah's flow of his speech.
Yeah.
Even when it concluded, there was no objection. In fact, all the leaders were present. So it took almost 12 hours to realize that there is something that which can be played up. And before this whole thing, party took it up, you saw the social warriors were on the act. So one, they found something that here is something that we should immediately catch on. Now, why did the Congress particularly decide to go on this? I think this whole debate was sought by the Congress in the hope that this debate could be used to corner the government on its commitment to the Constitution and to their repeated, constant assertion that they stand by the Constitution. But what happened, the debate in the Lok Sabha as well as debate in the Rajya Sabha did not go exactly in the Congress' favor. In fact, after people had heard the Prime Minister's reply in the Lok Sabha and very aggressive Amit Shah's address in the Rajya Sabha, the general opinion was, but Sarkar ne inko dho diya. So they, and Congress could not, even the leader of the opposition speech, Rahul Gandhi's speech, had left even the Congress benches disappointed because the whole debate was started, it was sought by Rahul Gandhi. That is one. Number two, what I feel is after the kind of shock result in Maharashtra and previously in Haryana, where this whole thing, you mentioned about how Amit Shah's statement was, was edited and used in the election that the BJP would do away with the reservation. And that did cause damage in Uttar Pradesh as well as in Maharashtra also. Since then, BJP went into overdrive, did a lot of corrections, and the result you saw in Maharashtra and as well as in Haryana. Now it was felt that somewhere along we have to, take back that.
Okay.
The third reason, Rahul, I feel is because all through this winter session, we have seen Adani. The Adani mask did not help, Adani bags did not help, and opposition was divided on this issue.
Okay.
So today you saw Ambedkar portrait being held by entire opposition. So this was the only issue they could get back. But the whole problem is, this is not what Amit Shah exactly said. And the whole problem is probably his reference, the manner in which he spoke gave them this handle. But that is not, nobody is going to say that this is, otherwise they would have got up and straight away took on Amit Shah. They didn't do
and they would have asked for this remark to be expunged and so on and so forth. There would have been a kerfuffle and perhaps the House would have been disrupted. One second, much later, sir, as an afterthought. That's what he's saying. Mr. Iyer is not somebody, he's a very senior journalist. Please, yes, Mr. Iyer.
And one more thing, Rahul, the issue of EVM.
Yeah.
See, initially...
So I don't want to confuse those issues. I understand where we are going.
What I'm saying is that was also an issue which left opposition divided.
That's right. So I want to ask Ms. Kakkar one question. Ms. Kakkar, are you going to go out of your way today to say, forget the BJP for a moment, let's take them out of the equation. The AAP is a force that came up to oppose both the Congress and the BJP, the two poles of Indian politics. At least on that I'm right, yes ma'am, or no?
I would agree with you.
Okay. So are you telling me that the Congress has done due justice to the legacy of Dr. Ambedkar? Yes, ma'am, or not?
I would say that if there is any party which really followed Ambedkar ji's vision, it is the Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay.
We constantly talk about education, not talk, we've implemented it. We've revolutionized
asked you
the
about Congress
education
Party.
system in Delhi, the healthcare.
I asked you about the Congress Party. Do you
I
think
can
they've
only
done
talk
justice?
I know, but I know what you're trying to do, Rahul ji. It is
What?
not important. Parties are not important. Aam Aadmi Party is not
Okay.
important. Congress is not important.
Okay.
What is important is this country.
Okay.
And the country has to go in the right direction.
Right.
And the direction is that of education.
Okay.
And the direction is that of healthcare. The
Okay.
direction is
The
that
reason
of,
I asked you this question, let me be very
propriety,
upfront. Let me be very upfront. You said that, look, the Aam Aadmi Party has done the most for the minorities, the Dalits, etc. in this country. Now, viewers, I just want you to direct your attention to a statement that was put out by Ajay Makan, who was the head of the Congress in 2022, 2nd December. Here it is, viewers. What does this say? This says very clearly, and I'll read the headline, Kejriwal wiped out rights of Dalits minorities with his jhadu. Congress Party. There it is, viewers.
That's
Can
a
I
political
respond?
Statement.
This is a statement, and this was made just before the conclusion of the Delhi elections, which were to the civic bodies. And this has been a press conference in public. Last day of campaigning for the Delhi municipal polls, AICC Secretary in charge of Delhi Ajoy Kumar and Congress Delhi Unit Chief Anil Chaudhary accused Kejriwal of keeping mum whenever issues of atrocities on women, Dalits and minorities came up. Two Congress leaders along with other leaders of the party's Delhi unit attacked Kejriwal and his government over the issue. They claim that the Congress will have its mayor in the civic polls as people were inclined towards the grand old party and so on and so forth, and it goes on. And there was also Ajay Makan there present. Ajoy Kumar, not Ajay Makan, Ajoy Kumar, who was present there, and there is a whole list of charges, etc. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this sort of internecine fight within the Indie Alliance
Two
over the
seconds.
Dalit vote. Yes, ma'am. Yes, very quickly.
2
yes.
seconds.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me.
2 seconds.
Yes.
One, our mayor is Dalit currently. Secondly,
Yeah. Okay.
I did not know that Anil Chaudhary ji's word was so important to you that you're playing that
I'm
clip.
just putting it out there, that's all.
What is important is a constitution. That's all right. I can
Yeah.
put out what Modi ji said.
He wasn't appointed by me, ma'am, to head the campaign. He was appointed by the Congress party. They consider him important.
You should also
Yes.
mention. You should also then mention what Pradhan Mantri Modi said for Ambedkar, Baba Saheb Ambedkar in the assembly while he was the chief minister of Gujarat. Do you recall? I don't even want to.
Ms.
repeat
Sarangi,
it.
could you respond?
No, I can only say that Congress party and AAP, they do not know what they are saying and doing. This
Okay.
is all cosmetic surgery, I would say, talking about the
Cosmetics,
Dalits, talking about
cosmetics.
reservation. Yes,
Spurned by
absolute
Congress.
cosmetic surgery.
Okay,
always.
26 January 2020, Arvind Kejriwal ji, since she's talking about whether leaders who are not important should be quoted or not, let me quote Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Spurned by Congress for years, Dalits in Delhi, says Arvind Kejriwal ji. Kejriwal is saying this, viewers. That's what he said. And this was bang before the elections, the assembly elections. So if Mr. Kejriwal also feels this, then I don't know, viewers, what is happening here. It seems everyone now believes that each other is the Dalit. Who they accused each other is the Dalit Templar. So viewers, you think about this, whether it is opportunism or what it is. So I'm just leaving it at this, viewers, just to tell you that this show is called The Hard Facts. I've just put out some hard facts, that's all. I'm not taking a position on it, I'm just saying and asking some questions. Let me move on, viewers, because it's an important story, and it's a story that comes to us from Tamil Nadu. This isn't a scene, viewers, look at the picture on your right. This isn't a scene from Islamist Pakistan or Islamist Iran or even the Taliban led Afghanistan, where Islamist radicals that want to take the sword to Kafirs are hailed as martyrs or heroes. This is Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu, where under the nose of the incumbent DMK Congress state government, the mastermind of the deadly 1998 Coimbatore blast, S.A. Basha, the man in the center of your screens, was put on a pedestal as thousands gathered to mourn his death. Basha was a leading member of the Al-Ummah Muslim separatist terror organization and died due to illness in jail. In addition to his role in the Coimbatore blast, Basha was implicated in the 1993 RSS office bombing in Chennai and had been arrested for inciting communal riots the same year. Basha's funeral procession was taken from South Ukaddam to the Hyder Ali Tipu Sultan Sunnat Jamaat Masjid at Flower Market in North Coimbatore for the last rites. Shockingly, despite it being public knowledge that he was a terrorist and the mastermind of the Coimbatore serial blast that killed 58 people and injured 231 thousands of Muslims, as you can see in those pictures, joined his funeral procession on 17 December in Coimbatore. Many patriotic Indians are outraged. All of this happened yesterday in the afternoon, viewers. The BJP on its part has lashed out at the incumbent state government. Listen in.
Madam, it only shows to what level DMK government is involved in minority appeasement. Suicide bomber to bring it, to create a huge blast. The suicide bomber also died. And Coimbatore is just reeling from that. Now this is happening. That is why the Coimbatore BJP unit, on coming Friday, they will observe a black day in Coimbatore because the law and order has died today in Coimbatore. Thereby, the people of Coimbatore will not even have any confidence on the state police ability to protect themselves.
The DMK appeared to evade the issue by drawing an equivalence, viewers. TKS Ellen Govan came out and said this. Listen in.
That is their right. A dead man's family takes a procession. How can we interfere with it? It's a funeral procession, final procession. When BJP conducts the birthday of the killer of Gandhi, how can we stop this?
The fact is, this is happening in an India that swears by secularism. This isn't happening in Islamic nation like Pakistan or Bangladesh. This is happening in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, Bharat. No peacefuls, quote unquote, have condemned this. No, quote, secularists, unquote, are silent. And, quote, constitutionalists are too busy reading and propping up the Samvidhan to take note, viewers. This is the state of affairs in our country. Let's open this up. I want to bring in Kamru Chaudhary, Shahid Ali, an advocate, and Shekhar Iyer. The Congress, the BJP has decided to not appear on the debate for now because they thought we've come to them too late. So the spokesperson had to go somewhere else, I'm told. But nonetheless, viewers, the questions need to be asked. Kamru Chaudhary, do you defend this? Do you believe that hundreds and thousands of people should come out and mourn? No, hang on. Let me just finish. Don't be in a hurry. Let me finish. I'm asking you, sir, do you think peace-loving Muslims in this country who, as you have said repeatedly many times, swear by the unity of this nation and by secularism, should have been attending this funeral?
Are you finished?
Yes, sir.
Can I have a clarification of your earlier statement? Very clarify where you said no statement from the peacefuls.
Yes,
what
sir.
do you mean by that, please?
The peaceful community
What
of
is
Muslims.
That?
Peaceful
No, what
community
is
of
that?
Muslims.
No, why is the adjective there peaceful? Peaceful is a slang that is being used by right-wing.
No, I don't think it's being used by anybody. You are imagining things.
No,
you are
I
imagining
take strong
things.
protest. No,
What
this is not an imagination.
constitutionalist is a
No.
word that is being used by several people to take
no,
snide
don't
comments
compare
against. No, I'm asking you a
constitutionalists
question.
and the
I'm asking,
peacefuls.
listen, please.
No, whatever
do
the
not,
question may be,
Kamru
I'm coming
Chaudhary,
to
do
that.
not try
Let
to
me come to
obfuscate.
that.
I am not
I-
using the word
I'm-
peaceful. Okay, I
You
am
have-
only,
you
I
can
quoted,
divide it.
I put it in quotes.
No,
I said,
you have- no.
I said quote, peacefuls, unquote.
Please accept
These
it
are
and not
words that
proceed
are
with
being
the debate.
used. No, 1 second. This
Let's
is very
proceed
important.
with the debate.
No, very important. Kamru Chaudhary, I have to ask you this question. Do you believe that peaceful members of the Muslim community should have been attending a march to hail, to present a terrorist as a hero? Simple question.
No. Rahul, you have got the entire concept of a janaza completely wrong out here.
Right.
I'm not here supporting the terrorist. I call him a terrorist because he killed 58.
Mr.
more than
Chaudhary, do you
58.
believe people should be marching on the day of Godse Jayanti to celebrate what he did and call him a martyr? Do you support that?
No, I never.
So then,
wait a minute.
what is
Wait a minute.
what is the confusion?
Let me finish.
If people come out on
Because-
Godse Jayanti to celebrate Godse, is
how-
that right
how
or
do
wrong?
I-
And if they come
how
out
do
in
I-
this,
How
is
do
that
I
right or wrong?
Explain to this because you don't believe in Islam. I believe you will not understand.
Is
what
this
I'm
a
going
matter
to
of
say out
Islam,
here.
sir? Do you
Yes,
think
sir.
Islam? No. Do you think Muslims believe in terrorists?
It's not a question of the terrorists.
No, what are
that
you
blocked
saying?
The country. Wait, Rahul, can I finish, please? Give me some 10, 20 seconds to explain my position.
My
The
God.
terrorist deserved his death. He died as a prisoner. The law of the land has punished him, and the law of on the day of the judgment will also punish him. But Islam says every person born in Islam will always be given a janaza prayer asking for forgiveness from the Almighty.
Right.
And it is a religious ritual to send off a person with a janaza, proper burial. That is
Right.
what in Islam.
And to,
Whether he
also,
be criminal.
and to also raise slogans in favor of that individual?
No, if there are reasons, slogans raised, that is a
Yes.
criminal act.
What?
And needs
No,
to be
it's not a
condemned.
criminal act, sir. There's no criminality.
It needs
You
to
can
be
no, one
condemned.
second.
Nobody
Was it a
raised a
criminal
slogan,
act? No,
I
one
believe.
second. This is very interesting. Viewers, there were slogans raised in favor of Afzal Guru in JNU. And at that
Now you-
time we were
from
told, one
Bhasha you
second,
go to
Kamru
Afzal Guru.
Chaudhary. One second. At that time we were told by people like you, Kamru Chaudhary, that that is the right to freedom and expression. Now, when it suits them, they say if people raise slogan, then it's a criminal offense. By that logic, viewers, Kanhaiya, Khalid, etc. are all guilty. So, you know, we can't keep changing the goalposts. So, I want to bring
No,
in
you are
Shekhar
changing
Iyer.
the
See,
goalpost.
Shekhar Iyer, listen, I am not pretending here to be anybody who knows a lot about any particular faith and the rituals associated, but I find it a bit disturbing. I find it disturbing. And I also find it rather strange that when terrorists are killed, for example, like Osama bin Laden was, a large number of people, especially for example, the Hamas terrorists, when he was killed, in Saudi Arabia, no one came out to protest his killing. In a large number of Emirates, no one came out to protest his killing. They said that he was a terrorist. There was no question of saying, oh, you know, we are asking for forgiveness from the good Lord, this, that, the other, so that he redeems himself in heaven, this, that, the other. No one said that. So I can't understand why it happens in India.
Well, Rahul, Coimbatore has faced Islamist growth in the Islamist elements for a long time. And that's largely because the current dispensation, whenever it has been in power, has somehow sought to play footsie with these elements. For the simple reason, minority votes matter a lot for the DMK. And that is why there is talk, to curb such influences. And today it is not just Coimbatore. The elements that were active in Coimbatore during that period and subsequently, today the whole belt from North Kerala to, starting from Coimbatore onwards up to the North Kerala and including parts of Karnataka, these elements have been very, very active. So, no matter whatever could be the religious persuasion of the people who are out there,
Yes.
but definitely this is also a show of solidarity for a person who has been identified with an Islamist, way of things.
Radicalism.
And radicalism.
So
and
let
that
me
is not
bring
a
in Mr.
surprise.
Ali on that point. That's a point that you are making. Mr. Shekhar Iyer is from Tamil Nadu. He understands what's going on in his state, Mr. Ali, and I have to ask you, is there a bid, a plot to turn Bharat into a Pakistan? Simple question, because I don't identify with this at any level, sir.
I think your question is also not justified because
Okay.
Bharat can never be turned Pakistan or any other country. Bharat is Bharat, and Bharat will grow despite there are the existence of people, those who are involved in political terrorism or social terrorism or economic terrorism,
Okay.
terrorism and criminality of any form and in all form has to be denounced, and we denounce that. Whether the same has been done or perpetrated by Basha or Godse or Pragya Thakur or anybody else. So we denounce all. Criminality in any form and all form has to be denounced. We have a specific stand onto this. And you are also requested, you are such a great...
No, Mr. Ali, I want to ask you a question.
please,
One second,
please,
I want to ask you a question.
please,
Mr. Ali,
please,
please listen to me
please.
because you made an important
Sir,
intervention.
I have
The
been
only
listening
reason
to you. I have been listening to
I'll
you.
just come
I have
back.
been
Please
listening.
listen
I
to
have
me.
been
Listen to
hearing
me. Mr. Ali, you said that India can never turn into a Pakistan. You said that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain then why does Shashi Tharoor say that India will become a Hindu Pakistan?
So, Hindu Pakistan and Pakistan is different. Pakistan
Oh.
is not the Hindu Pakistan.
Oh.
Pakistan is different.
No, no.
Pakistan
So let me
is
ask you.
Pakistan.
So
Sir,
let me ask you,
Pakistan-
viewers.
I'm clarifying you. I'm clarifying you.
Look at the way they are
Pakistan
playing with
was
words here.
formulated.
Look
Sir,
at the words.
Pakistan was
What
formulated in the
Shashi
name of
Tharoor is
religion.
trying to say is
Sir,
that you will
Pakistan
become a
was
Hindu
formulated,
version of
established in the
Pakistan.
name of
You will
religion.
become a Hindu
But
version of
India
Pakistan.
was
When I
not
asked them the
established in
same
the name of
question,
religion.
that through actions such as this man in the middle of your screens, viewers, is a Islamist supremacist. He wants to create a caliphate. He has been charged under law. He has been convicted under the law for carrying out this particular enterprise in this country. He wanted to turn India into a Pakistan, viewers, an Islamist nation. That's the reason I asked. And when I say this, Mr. Ali turns around and says, but India can never be. But then he cannot explain why Shashi Tharoor uses this.
I'm explaining, sir. I'm explaining.
Right.
I'm explaining. Pakistan was formulated in the name of religion, but India was not. So that cannot
So
be
then
equated.
why are people going out there and praising a person who wants to impose a caliphate on this country?
Nobody
I
is
think
praising
such
Rahul.
kind
Why
of
can't you
such
understand?
kind of fringe
Nobody is
elements
praising
are
him out there.
everywhere.
Oh, no one is praising him.
No.
Sir, have you heard the slogans? Have you heard the slogans? Have you heard the slogans? Viewers, neither has the Congress party. No, 1 second. Neither has the Congress party come out and denounced it. Neither has the DMK. The DMK say, what can we do?
Show me the
The
videos of
DMK has
the
said,
sloganeering.
the DMK says, what can we do? If the other side goes and cheers Godse, it's their right. These are not my words. This is the DMK's rights views. This is the DMK's view. Here I'll read out DMK's view. Let's play it again. Let's play it again. The DMK came out and said, it is their right. The family of a deceased takes out a funeral procession. BJP celebrates the birthday of Gandhi's assassin. Government has nothing to do with this procession. How can we stop someone else's last rights? Viewers, then one has to salute a particular government, which was actually a Congress government of a different vintage, that said that Afzal Guru and his body will not be returned, so that it is turned into a mausoleum. Where have we come, viewers, from the Congress of that vintage to the Congress of today? Think about that. Mr. Chaudhary, you remember that? The Congress party saying we will not return the body of Afzal Guru. Do you remember this?
One thing, let me tell you.
Yes
in
or no?
Islam, can I have 10 seconds more? If you don't have time, it's okay. I can pass over.
No, please.
The point out here, it is in Islam also, let's say a man has died in absentia, means his body is never found.
Okay.
Still then people
Afzal
congregate
Guru didn't die in
together and have a
absentia.
janaza.
His time of death was announced. He was hung in Tihar jail. Just that his body was not handed over to his family, sir.
But the family members had their janaza in Kashmir? Yes or no?
Sir, was that right?
No, that's what I called you. You have to learn Islam to understand.
Oh, I see.
these
So
features.
everything is forgiven. Okay, viewers, I leave it at this.
Because-
let's go out
because-
there. Let's go out there and start celebrating the death and, of course, most importantly, the birthdays of all Hindu nationalists. Let's do it and say, what you don't understand our traditions. Viewers, excuses after excuses to justify the inexcusable. I leave it at this. Palki Sharma with the Vantage.
He has announced his retirement. In fact, he's one of the greatest cricketers to have represented India. And finally, he's decided to draw curtains on his career after having taken over 700 wickets across the format. So that's the news coming in about Ravichandran Ashwin, who has announced retirement from international cricket. Let me go straight across now to CNN News 18's Anand Narsiman for more on this. Anand, good morning. So big news coming in. R. Ashwin bringing an end to his glorious international career. Give us a little bit more about, this big decision that he has taken. Was it coming? Are you surprised? Is it a stunning development?
Well, talk has been going on for a while, and he has been towards the sunset of his career for a while. And with the others coming into the play, Ashwin must have decided to call time on his career at a point where he believed that there was not much for him to add. Although we believe that he will continue to show his wares or fly his wares in the T20 format, that is IPL. But Ashwin for sure is someone that Indian cricket will sorely miss, because he has delivered and he has stood up for the country when it mattered most. And who can ever forget how we got our T20 World Cup victory again, because of that presence of mind that he showed as a very, very sharp cricketer. A ball bowled outside his leg stump, and then he just stood out there and it was called a wide, and then driving the next ball up to a boundary and getting India that impossible victory was something which everybody watched, the minds that he used with respect to when we played Pakistan. But even in Test cricket, he has been Bharat's go-to guy, Team India's go-to guy at many points, and not just as a bowler but also as a batsman across the formats. He has come in lower down the order and stemmed the rut, and oftentimes pulled us out of a hole, and from a position of discomfort and position of disadvantage, taken us to a position from where we have eventually gone on to either save the test or even win it. So there are many classic examples there. More importantly, Ashwin has always spoken his mind. He always believed that he was up for leadership at some point in his career. He also believed that he should be leading the side as a captain. He tried to lead sides and also prove his merit as a captain. But somehow, with injuries, also with him being a little too matter of fact and straight up in terms of talking with a straight bat, sometimes also put paid to some of his chances. But overall, he's come back. Whenever people have written him off, he has come back. Whenever people have thought that he will not be able to deliver, he has come back and stood up for the country. And oftentimes he's been called for duties, national duty, when he was actually playing list A or first class cricket, thinking that his career is over or he's not going to get called. But he has, and he had 700 plus international wickets in international cricket across the three formats. Many thought he would try and go up to 800 and try and get somewhere closer to Mutaya Muralidharan. Unfortunately, that's not true. But yes, across his first class career, he has more than 800 wickets across all formats of the game, and something that we should be very, very proud of. That the soon to be or just turned 38-year-old, he's about 38 years and 92 days as of now. So he was towards the sunset of his career. India will fondly remember him every time, and with a lot of respect, because he brought a certain brevity, competitiveness, and also chutzpah, which few cricketers can bring. And he is not just a spinner. He was an all-rounder in the true sense, because he could do his bit with the bat, and oftentimes he's helped us. And everybody would see that after some of the Sri Lankan spinners, someone who mastered the carom ball and showed how it is done was also Ravichandran Ashwin.
He has announced his retirement. In fact, he's one of the greatest cricketers to have represented India. And finally, he's decided to draw curtains on his career after having taken over 700 wickets across the format. So that's the news coming in about Ravichandran Ashwin, who has announced retirement from international cricket. Let me go straight across now to CNN News 18's Anand Narsimhan for more on this. Anand, good morning. So big news coming in, R. Ashwin bringing an end to his glorious international career. Give us a little bit more about, this big decision that he has taken. Was it coming? Are you surprised? Is it a stunning development?
Well, talk has been going on for a while, and he has been towards the sunset of his career for a while. And with the others coming into the play, Ashwin must have decided to call time on his career at a point where he believed that there was not much for him to add. Although we believe that he will continue to show his wares or fly his wares in the T20 format, that is IPL. But Ashwin for sure is someone that Indian cricket will sorely miss, because he has delivered and he has stood up for the country when it mattered most. And who can ever forget how we got our T20 World Cup victory again, because of that presence of mind that he showed as a very, very sharp cricketer. A ball bowled outside his leg stump, and then he just stood out there and it was called a wide, and then driving the next ball up to a boundary and getting India that impossible victory was something which everybody watched, the minds that he used with respect to when we played Pakistan. But but even in Test cricket, he has been Bharat's go-to guy, Team India's go-to guy at all.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. We begin with India and China. After years of standoff and military tension and a recent border deal, is a complete reset on the cards. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval is in Beijing. He met China's top diplomat Wang Yi today. We'll tell you what came out of the meeting. On the other corner of the world, Donald Trump has trained his guns on India. He says India imposes a lot of tariffs, so he will do the same.